with. Big shout out to my brother, Richard Medhurst. And this wasn't on his Substack, but he actually published this on his website, richardmedhurst.com. I highly encourage everybody to sign up at richardmedhurst.com as well for email alerts. I think this is actually tied to like a separate mailing list than his Substack. All of his interviews are here. This is actually a really solid website that he put together. So articles, interviews, bio, little store. And I'll show you some of the Uncle Joe's Rainbow Coalition Death Cult stuff. Mona actually designed it. Unity! And every time he does Unity, I flip out. So I got to drop him a super chat so he does that because it's been too long since I heard him do that. And considering what's going on right now, it'd be
Indy
awesome.
saying Unity like that, please, for me. Nice. Can we just clip that audio? That would be great. Thank you.
Jesse Jet's going to put that in a song for me.
Yeah.
So certain people on social media so sanctions, I skipped the headline. U.S. sanctions are a crime against humanity. And this guy does an 11 and a half minute take that absolutely rips the fucking cover off sanctions, destroys it. Okay. And how? Why? Because he's actually dealing with it, because he's actually got family members that are dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. And what they say is beyond gross. So there are certain people on social media or in governmental office who he's not going to mention since it's not about who, okay? But they think sanctioning a country is some sort of humane way to coerce a country as opposed to bombing it, right? Blatantly stating that the objective is to bully them into obeying Western and United States foreign policy. Basically saying that it's good that foreign policy and that the U.S. bullies other countries and coerces and intimidates them. Let's just starve the people instead of bombing them. I mean, it's gross. It's disgusting. I totally agree with him. It's despicable. And this idea that sanctions are less brutal is ignorant, which 100%.
Yeah. Well, it's even if you do fall in line, you get what? Like, look, Iran had their, like they did, we asked essentially, right? And then they got screwed over again and again until, we were back in their country, like as an invading force pretty much. Like, and even when you do listen to us and follow, what? They listen to the sanctions, they do what we ask, and then what? So it just seems like a preemptive monetary and resource strike before you, like siege warfare kind of nonsense,
Yep.
So
100%.
You're making sure they can't get food and water. It's almost as good as a blockade for the most part.
Electricity. I mean, it's vital resources, medicine. So again, he's going to get into a little. Again, I highlight. This is a bit of a longer piece too. Spoke to two of his cousins. What did they tell him? That's so bad that they would rather live under the war again. They'd rather live under bombs raining down than live under sanctions. Okay, now, Ronnie, it's one of his cousins, and I've seen Ronnie on stream before. He's great. Shout out to Ronnie. Okay, he's been out of Syria for a year. He lives in Canada, if I remember correctly. And his other cousin left just a few months ago, and they said they would rather or prefer to live under the war than under sanctions. So, again, just...
At least you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. In spring and autumn, the electricity is gone for 3 hours, and then it's off for 3 hours, and then it's on for 3 hours. People are actually happy because it's not as bad now or in the summer, right? You can't get any mazut or fuel to put in the heater, so you can't even heat yourself during the winter. In his grandmother's house, if they wanted to heat themselves, they'd have to get maybe 50 liters. That'll last you barely 2 weeks. And can you imagine having only 2 weeks of heating in the winter?
Oh, my God.
And good luck finding, that's just, as a result, the price of fuel has doubled because of the sanctions. They can't just cut the subsidies to fuel.
Right? These are mountainous regions, people.
Right. You can't get bread. Wait in line for hours to be given a bag. Okay.
Yeah. Literal bread lines. Yes.
Literal bread lines. Yeti. Yes, Yeti. But the bread lines show. But the only bread lines in Syria were created by U.S. sanctions. It's simply a fact.
Sanctions.
Because he said, in the past, he used to go to the bakery and they'd go and get bags of bread, like 5 bags that were full. So he personally has experienced this.
Oh, effing F.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. What the effing F is right. No clue what's happening in Venezuela. Again, this is another thing where they talk about they just sit in their armchairs. And again, this is effectively, I think, a transcript of Richie's fire take, which is awesome. All right.
yeah.
Brainwashed, grown up their entire lives in the American bubble and not really thought about what sanctions do. They've never been to these places. So accurate, so true, and so sad that this is what's actually happening, and this is what's determining the livelihoods and the life, the life expectancies and the lives of these people. Again, so disgusting and arrogant. They think they understand everything and are rational. They're responsible because they're not savage. They don't want to bomb people. Why don't they just leave them the hell alone? And that's, I think, what what his question is. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me play you this clip from Madeleine Albright in the 90s when it was 500,000 children. We know all about that, and her friend Nana. Or at least,
she
the
went
person who was honored to interview her. I don't know. I wouldn't call her a friend. But
what did she fucking go to?
The Munich Security Conference. Check out check out the latest lefty at the Munich Security Conference. That's all I'm going to say right there. I don't want to say anymore.
Oh God.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
And who sponsors the Munich Security Conference, and who's speaking at the Munich Security Conference, and what they're all about. But okay.
They're good people.
Yeah. Lefties.
Some, I assume, are good people.
Very leftist organization for sure. Okay. So 500,000 children with those sanctions were killed, and they say the price was worth it. I wouldn't say they, but Madeleine Albright and the monstrous neo-libs and the 1990s Democratic Party feels it was worth it. Okay. How are you any better than Saddam Hussein?
Oh, God.
Right? They're not going to tell you this on the news because they want you to believe the sanctions are humane. They're not. They're evil. They're illegal under international law. Unilateral sanctions imposed by the United States are illegal. It's so strong, such fire. Watch this video. I just went through it. Richie is one of my favorite people on this planet. And one of these days, I'm going to talk to him again. Love him to death. Love you, brother. Thank you. Thanks for calling attention to this. Sanctions are murder, and sanctions are a crime against humanity, and they should end. All right. Next. Oh, more friends of the show. We got friends of Indy left all over. So we're going to get to that in a second. Trans-Marxist, elite think tanks full of imperialists stemming from the Eastern British establishment control U.S. foreign policy. True, more often than not. Totally agree there. Emma, thank you. It's great. I love seeing all the friends of the show in there, and Quaker analyst, which anarchist. I guess you're not Quaker socialist anymore. So now we've evolved now out to Quaker analyst, but free them all.
Hopefully he still gets that oatmeal. You know,
Sundiata, Akoe Leonard, Sundiata Akoe, Leonard Peltier, Dr. Matulu Shakur, Mumia Abu Jamal, Dr. Joy Powell, Kamal Shakidi, I'm missing to Shakidi Mom, Jamil Al Amin, I'm sorry for butchering these names, Rochelle McGee, Verona Bowsers, Kojo Bomani, Sabubu, Ed Poindexter. I'm missing some. It cut it off.
That's a weird. Sabubu Poindexter is a fucking name.
No, Ed Poindexter is a different one. It's just like a big run-on thing that the chat's not picking up, which is really funny. But